check this place out. If you guys have been following along on our Florida adventure, we started in Lake Wales, went to the beach, went all the way south down to the Keys. Now we're on our way back up to Aviator for a couple more days. And we stopped here at Ormond Beach, right outside Daytona, Florida. And this beach is really beautiful. I've flown it a few times in the past. It's almost got like a red, orangey sand. And the guys are here, Jeff and Dan. Oh, and by the way, if you want to pick up a sweet, swooping paramotor shirt like the one I am wearing right now, check out the website in the link down in the description.
Smooth and delicious. Hello, old lady, walking down the beach. You have great hair. All right. The gang is all here. We're all up. I want to talk today about my tips that I can think of offhand on beach flying. Things you should know, things you should think about if you're going to fly on the beach. But first, I want to blow off some steam. So we're gonna go up high and come down low, and then we'll get into it. Proximity acro next to Dan. I hope I didn't scare him. Alright, tips for the first time beach flyer. Beach flying is fun because you can pretty much, if the conditions are right, do it all day. When we fly inland, as you guys probably know, we stick to sunrise and sunset so that the air is smooth, there's less thermals and less wind. On the beach, on the other hand, you can fly all day long in 10 to 15 miles an hour of wind, as long as the wind is coming from the ocean to the shore. Now you might ask, why don't you want to do it in the other direction? The risk is, well, one, you're not going to get smooth air because it's coming from the land, and that's where thermals are generated. Second, you don't want to do that because imagine you're flying along and all of a sudden the wind picks up to McNarly levels, blowing 30, you get blown out into the ocean and you can't make it back. We can only fly so fast, so if the wind picks up, you'd be screwed, freaking blown out into the water, have to call the Coast Guard. That is a day nobody wants to live. Hi, Jeff. Second tip. So flying at the beach presents its own risk because there's a lot of water. That might sound obvious, but flying paramotors near water is one of the most dangerous things we can do, because if we have a motor out or an issue where we land in the water, it's very easy to drown. The motor will eventually try to sink. You've got a harness to unbuckle, and you can get tangled in the lines. If you're going to fly at the beach, you most definitely want to have flotation. I've got flotation on my motor, so if something happens, I dump it in the water, I should be okay. Now, moving water like these waves, it's even more dangerous. Overall tip is just treat the water with respect. You should stay at an altitude high enough that if your motor failed, you can dip onto the sand. Other than that, have flotation, carry a hook knife, all the good stuff so you don't drown, because drowning's not fun. Tip number 3 is salt water. Don't get it on your motor. It's crazy how much salt water will corrode your engine, your nice, shiny, brand new engine. I've made the mistake in the past. It's so tempting to see that water and just foot drag the shit out of it. but it sprays up onto your engine, and literally within 24 hours your exhaust will be rusted and it will be nasty looking. You can still foot drag the saltwater as long as you're like really careful and you get your toe up and you don't make a lot of spray. You can do it relatively safely without spraying water everywhere. It's always good to have WD-40, or I use a product called Tri-Flow, and just hose that thing down and clean it off after you fly at the beach. Even just like the mist, the salty mist in the air, it can corrode your engine pretty quick. So you want to make sure you keep everything clean or you're going to get rust everywhere. Tip number 4, this kind of goes hand in hand with water, but think about the sand. If it's loose sand and you're either doing a foot drag or just taking off, when you pick up that sand, it goes right in your propeller, and you can actually sandblast your propeller really easily if you're not careful. Same thing with water. If you spray enough water, you can actually take the finish off the leading edge of your propeller, but sand is actually the bigger culprit for that sort of thing. So you want to be careful not to kick sand into your prop. You don't want to lay down a fat foot drag in like loose sand. One way to try to protect your prop is by putting prop tape. It's just like really thin 3M clear brawl type stuff that they use on cars, and that'll really help protect your prop. What up, Dan? On the topic of sand, also, you're probably going to end up getting sand in your wing inevitably. If you check, I've opened up my leaky buttholes in my wingtip. That's actually what they're called from ozone, and that kind of allows the sand to go out of the back of your wing, hopefully. Other than that, if that doesn't work to the maximum degree, you're going to want to flip your wing upside down and shake the sand out of it. Frickin' Dan, he's been practicing his wing overs. He's getting it dialed. He's loving life. All right, tip number 5, air traffic. Dude, the 3 of us have been flying down at the other beach for the past few days, and I haven't really filmed much of it, but we've had a ton of close calls with air traffic. And the reason is airplanes like to use the coast, kind of. You'll see a lot of airplanes just flying like a few hundred feet down the shore, exactly in the airspace we're occupying right now. So you just want to be extra vigilant and see and avoid. All the cases that we've had the past few days, we've seen an airplane coming from far away, and we've had time to get away from them. So yeah, be extra vigilant of air traffic, because it's just a popular spot for airplanes to fly, just right down the crashing waves like we're doing right now. Freaking Jeff, spicing it up on the Sirocco. See if I can get a wingtip touch while staring right at the sun. Oh, it's so bright. Let's see, tip number 6. I'm gonna make this one unique. So generally, at the beach, you generally have like 10 miles an hour wind. And I'm gonna say use that wind to your advantage and use it as like a training tool. So when you do launches and landings, generally like inland, everything happens kind of fast because you're running and it's hectic and you have to go really fast. But if you have 10 or 15 miles an hour of wind at the beach, it makes launches and landings a piece of cake. So I would say use it to your advantage to like refine your skills. Do a bunch of touch and goes, as many as you can, and you can really concentrate on every bit of the form. Think about leaning back, think about applying your brake pressure, the wing control, and the cool thing is it's so easy that you can knock out like 10 or 20, no big deal. If you had to do that inland with no wind, you'd be setting up your wing and running your ass off and your back would hurt, and it's just way easier to do them at the beach, so take advantage and just do a bunch. tip number 7. I think we're on 7. If I can't count, I have no shame. So flying on the beach is rad and everything, but obviously like we have here, there's a bunch of people enjoying their day, and for the most part, every single person I've run into has been stoked to see us fly. They come up and ask questions, and they just like seeing us because paramotors look cool. But not everybody is stoked like that. Some people just want it to be quiet when they're on the beach. So tip number 7 is like, don't fly in the same area for a long time. Go up and down the coast, leave the area. Don't just sit in one spot and wow, 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 do your wing overs and piss everyone off. And you know, if people are interested, take the time, answer some questions, show them about the sport, be like a good representative. Let's see, tip number 8. I'm gonna say tip number 8 is just have fun. I think one of the first times I flew on the beach, I kind of got the impression that it's cool and everything, but it's kind of like sitting on a treadmill. The scenery never changes, and it's beautiful, but it's like you're just flying in smooth air. But honestly, if you're not having fun and you're not enjoying it, you're doing something wrong. So have fun, do whatever you enjoy. I think I'm gonna conclude this flying bit here, and we're just gonna enjoy the rest of the flight till sunset tonight, and then we're gonna be heading towards Lake Wales to Aviator.
Check out, motor's all cleaned up, tri-flowed, we wiped her down, got all the salt off, and we're on our way to Aviator right now, and we decided to stop in Orlando because there's an Insomnia cookies there. Super awesome ice cream and cookies. So we're gonna go get some of that, and then we're gonna finish up the drive to Aviator.
It's like a, almost like a pita type thing.
All right, so this is it. We made it to Aviator PPG. We're gonna go to sleep here at the airport, wake up tomorrow and do some flying with everyone. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but it's gonna be an adventure. So I hope you guys enjoyed the beach flying tips. If you've got more to add, leave them down in the comments. And don't forget, check out the website for sweet paramotor related merch and Risky Biscuits hats. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.